Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're stepping into, well, a really vivid dream narrative.
Hmm.
It's packed with that strange dream logic, and some powerful emotions.
Absolutely, like exploring the subconscious landscape together.
Exactly, a space where symbols can almost whisper secrets. And I have our guide here ready to help us maybe tune into those whispers.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how these often overlooked corners of our minds can hold glimpses of something profound. I'm certainly ready to explore.
Okay, let's step into it then. The dream starts in this
Hmm.
really deep velvet silence.
Velvet silence, lovely image.
Yeah, and you're on a wooden platform, worn smooth. You can almost feel the history, countless footsteps. What's the first thing that hits you there? Solitude,
Hmm.
or maybe connection.
Hmm. That's silence. It feels like turning inward, doesn't it? Quieting all the noise outside.
Right.
But the worn platform,
Yeah.
you picture all the people who stood right there. It speaks to something shared, I think. Like even when you feel alone, you're on a path others have walked. What
Right.
about you? What resonates?
For me, it's definitely the time aspect. All those footsteps like echoes, and then there's the single flickering bulb overhead.
Okay.
It casts these long, trembling shadows. They look like phantoms dancing around.
Ah, the flickering light.
Does that suggest maybe a fragile hold on something? Clarity, maybe, in the shadows?
Yeah, the light.
Yeah.
It's like moments of insight try to break through the dimness,
Fleeting.
fleeting,
Good word.
and those shadows
Yeah.
constantly shifting. Reminds me of how thoughts and feelings are always moving, never quite solid. They dance right at the edge of what, hinting at more. What do they make you wonder about?
They make me question what's actually real and what's just appearance. There's also a smell. Very distinct.
Yeah.
Rust and rain. Like memories just hanging in the air, suspended. It's so specific. What does that add, that smell?
Ah, smell. It's powerful, isn't it? The ghost of memory.
Totally.
Rust speaks of age, things weathered, rain. Well, it can be cleansing, sure, but also kind of melancholy.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like the past isn't really gone. It's just hanging there, palpable, shaping this dream moment. Does that scent bring anything up for you personally?
It does, actually. A faint echo. Can't quite pin it down. Okay, so from the stillness, a sound starts. A faint rumble. It grows into this, metallic symphony. Wheels on rails. A train's coming.
The energy shifts.
Yeah. And on the horizon, a tiny light appears. But it's weird. It quivers. It behaves erratically.
How so?
It grows, then shrinks. Sometimes it races toward you. Other times it pulls back. What could that unsteady approach mean? Hopes? Fears?
That rumble. That's anticipation building, isn't it? Something significant is on its way into your awareness.
Right.
But the erratic light, that perfectly captures how our desires and anxieties feel sometimes. They're rarely straightforward.
No, definitely not.
They tease us, advance, retreat,
Mhm.
play with our expectations. Can you think of any hopes or fears in your own life that feel a bit like that flickering, uncertain light right now?
Oh, for sure. That push and pull feels very familiar. And there's this other disconnect in the dream, too. The tracks are humming. You feel the anticipation there.
Okay, an inner readiness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it feels out of sync with that weird light. And nearby, there's a watch, and its hands are just spinning wildly.
Wow.
Is that suggesting a misalignment between the inner feeling and external timing?
I think that's a great way to put it. The humming tracks are your internal vibration, right? The
Yeah.
expectation building.
Mm-hmm.
But the light and the frantic watch,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it points to a disconnect with the outside world. Time itself feels slippery, unreliable here. Have you ever felt that? That internal hum when the world outside seems totally out of step?
Absolutely. That waiting feeling when things just don't line up. And the station sign here is really strange. It keeps changing, flickering between words. Home, away, never, always.
Whoa, that's potent.
Right. What deep-seated longings or maybe anxieties about belonging, change, permanence could that reflect?
That shifting sign. Gosh, it's like the core questions of being human just swirling around one spot.
Yeah.
Home, that need for security, roots. Away, the pull towards the unknown, exploration,
Yeah.
never. That touches our deepest fears, doesn't it? Loss, finality,
It really does.
and always. The desire for something lasting, for connection that endures in a world that's always changing. Which of those words hits you the hardest right now? That can often point to a key theme for you.
Never. Definitely resonates, gives me a jolt. And there's also this feeling in the dream, a physical tug in the chest.
Ah,
It's a yearning, but it's not quite nostalgia, and it's not really hope either. Something deeper, more primal. How can someone connect with that kind of feeling?
That feeling, that's the raw stuff, isn't it? Beneath the labels we usually put on emotions, it's that unarticulated longing that often drives us to connect with it. Maybe just try focusing on the physical sensation itself. In your chest, you said.
Yeah.
Don't try to name it or figure it out straight away.
Yeah.
Just allow yourself to feel it. See what comes up when you just sit with it. What arises for you?
Just a kind of ache, I guess. Okay, so beside the dreamer, there's this suitcase. It hasn't been unpacked.
Okay.
You can see it's old, scuffed up from journeys taken, maybe forgotten, but the handle is warm, like it's pulsing slightly.
Interesting. Vitality there.
Yeah. And inside, weird things. A child's toy, but you can't remember its purpose. A photograph, but it's face down in its frame. And a key that, well, it doesn't fit any lock, you know?
Wow. Okay, the suitcase itself, like a vessel holding pieces of your life's journey, the scars showing the history, the warm, pulsing handle, suggests those past experiences, even distant ones, still have energy, still connect to who you are now.
That makes sense.
The forgotten toy? Could be lost innocence, a joy you left behind, maybe a skill you don't use anymore.
Could be any of those.
The face-down photo? That screams unresolved stories, doesn't it? Relationships maybe not fully faced, or aspects of yourself you'd rather not look at.
Avoidance.
And the key. Oh, keys are always powerful. Untapped potential. A solution looking for the right problem. A hidden part of you waiting to be unlocked. Which of those items makes you most curious?
Definitely the key. What does it open? So then the platform itself, it stretches out infinitely, it seems, in both directions, just dissolving into mist.
Endlessness.
Yeah. And in the fog, these shadowy figures appear, but then they vanish just as quickly. Is that limitless possibilities? Or maybe feeling lost in all that potential? And what about those fleeting figures?
That infinite platform. It really speaks to the vastness of our unconscious, doesn't it? All the possibilities stretching out.
It feels huge.
But the mist, it obscures things, creates uncertainty. You don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
The figures, they could be echoes, couldn't they? Past encounters, missed connections.
Ghosts of possibilities, like you said before.
Or even aspects of yourself that surface briefly, then recede back into the shadows. Do any of them feel familiar somehow?
More like potentials, things that could have been. Okay, the tracks themselves, underneath, they seem to tell stories.
How so?
You get a sense of countless journeys, arrivals, departures, promises kept, promises broken. Some sections seem to gleam, others look dull and worn.
The narrative of life etched in steel.
Yeah. But here's the thing. They're parallel rails. They run alongside each other, but they never actually meet. They just create this illusion of converging in the distance.
Ah, the perspective trick.
What can we take from that about our own life path?
Well, the tracks holding those stories. The shining parts are moments of clarity, progress, right? The dull stretches are maybe times of stagnation, disappointment.
Makes sense.
And the parallel lines that never truly meet. Gosh, that could speak to our inherent separateness as individuals. Or maybe the gap between our ideals and reality. That perfect union or goal that always seems just out of reach. Does that sense of separation resonate with you?
It does. A sense of journeying alongside, but always slightly apart. Now, the train's light, it gets brighter, but weirdly, it doesn't illuminate anything around it. Just the light itself is bright.
Interesting. Focused inward.
Yeah. And it's whistle. It's this undulating sound, like it exists somewhere between waking and sleeping, or between desire and fear.
That liminal space.
What's that light saying about internal focus versus seeing clearly outside? And that sound.
Not lighting up the surroundings?
Yeah.
Yeah, it suggests a powerful inward focus, maybe intense self-examination.
Yeah.
But it hasn't yet translated into understanding the external world or maybe making external changes.
Okay. Still internal.
And the whistle sound perfectly captures that dream state, doesn't it? Where hope and anxiety are all mixed up, reality and imagination blur. It's the sound of ambivalence. Have you felt that pull between what you want and what you're afraid of?
Yeah. Constantly. So the dreamer looks down into puddles on the platform, and the reflection looks back. But it's not quite right.
How is it different?
The eyes look older, wiser maybe, but also sadder. The face is familiar, but also kind of foreign. And ripples in the water distort it further, showing glimpses of alternative versions of who they might be.
Wow.
What's going on there? Self-perception, time, these other potential selves?
The reflection. That's our self-image, isn't it?
Yeah.
Often shaped by time and experience. Older eyes could mean deeper understanding, true, but the sadness might point to regrets, losses, maybe unspoken,
Right.
And the distorted reflections in the ripples, those are the what-ifs, aren't they? The paths not taken, the alternative selves lingering in the realm of possibility. Do any of those distorted versions feel particularly compelling or maybe unsettling to you?
They feel like roads I sometimes wonder about taking, yeah. In this dream space, time itself seems to lose meaning. It stretches, collapses.
Very dreamlike.
And the train, it keeps approaching, but it never actually arrives. It recedes, but it never fully leaves. It just hangs there, carrying possibilities, unmade choices. What kind of perpetual state could this symbolize? Unresolved situations.
The way time shifts in dreams often means we're detached from the clock, focused more on the emotional reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
That train, forever coming but never arriving.
Yeah.
It could absolutely symbolize a persistent longing, an unfulfilled desire, or maybe the journey of self-discovery itself, where the seeking, the process is the whole point, not some final destination. Is there something in your life that feels perpetually on the verge?
There is, yeah. A sense of something always just out of reach. Then the wind picks up, and it carries fragments, snippets of conversation.
Voices.
Yeah, like a swirl of different voices, experiences, all mixed together. And at the same time, the dreamer's shadow starts moving independently. It detaches, morphs into different shapes.
Whoa, the shadow has its own life.
What's that about? The influence of others. And our own unconscious stuff acting out.
Those fragmented conversations could represent all the external influences swirling inside us, right? The voices of parents, society, friends echoing within.
The temporal cyclone, the outline called it.
Exactly. And the independent shadow. Oh, that's a classic, powerful symbol of the unconscious. The parts of us operating outside awareness. Untapped potential, instincts, trying to get our attention in weird ways. Does your own shadow ever feel like it's doing its own thing?
Sometimes, definitely. Okay, then the dreamer finds they're holding a ticket, but it's blank.
Blank ticket. Interesting.
It feels both substantial, like real, but also somehow insubstantial. Like it represents permission for a journey, but the destination is totally obscured.
Permission without answers.
Yeah. And above, the stars aren't fixed. They're constantly shifting into new constellations. And the moon, it seems to have faces watching. And they look like they're offering both encouragement and warning.
A lot going on up there.
What do we make of this blank permission slip and these shifting, judging celestial bodies?
The blank ticket. That feels like the freedom of pure potential, doesn't it? An invitation to trust the journey itself, even when you have no idea where it's going.
Trusting the process.
Right. The shifting stars could reflect our changing perspectives. Or maybe the fluid nature of destiny. It's not all set in stone.
Okay.
And the moon faces, with that mix of encouragement and warning. Perhaps that's our own internalized intuition.
Yeah.
The part that pushes us forward, but also signals danger. Our inner judge and inner guide. Which face feels stronger to you? Encouragement or warning?
The warning feels louder, strangely. Okay, almost there. Finally, the dreamer feels a heartbeat. Not their own, but coming up through the platform itself.
Wow.
And it synchronizes with their own heartbeat. The air gets thick, charged with expectation, potential energy. You can almost taste metal, smell ozone, feel electricity on the skin.
Whoa, sensory overload.
Yeah, what profound internal shifts could be happening here? What's this pointing towards?
That shared heartbeat. That's a deep connection. Maybe to the rhythm of life itself, grounding in the unconscious core.
Like plugging in.
Exactly. And the heightened senses, tasting metal, smelling ozone, those are often signs of a major internal shift, heightened awareness. A breakthrough, maybe. A transformation just about to happen.
Feels like it.
And through it all, that train,
Yeah.
still approaching, never arriving, it remains the central mystery, the core symbol of this whole inner world.
What a journey, just walking through this dream, this narrative. It's been really illuminating. It's such a good reminder that these inner stories, no matter how strange they seem on the surface, they're just packed with personal meaning, waiting for us to unpack it.
Absolutely. And the real beauty, I think, isn't about finding the single right answer for what each symbol means.
Right, it's not a code book.
Exactly. It's about letting these images, these feelings, spark your own reflections, letting them light up corners of your inner world you might not usually see.
So as you, the listener, reflect on this deep dive, maybe ask yourself, what journey in your own life feels like that train, perpetually approaching, but maybe never quite arriving?
And what wisdom could there be in that state itself, in the waiting, the anticipation?
Great question. Thank you for joining us as we explored this really rich symbolic landscape.
It was a truly insightful exploration. Thanks for guiding us through it.